Hi guys, it's Michelle, and I am recording on the eve of my chemotherapy. It is Sunday evening, October 12th, and I am just kind of at home getting ready, prepping, making sure I have everything together that I need to have. I've got blankets, I've got socks, I've got the cold cap, I've got the cold gloves, the cold socks, I've got a book, I've got my laptop, I have a notebook for writing. Obviously, what else is a notebook for? I've got some snacks, but most of all, I've got my brother and his wife are coming down here from upstate to stay with me. They're going to be here tonight. They'll be here through the first day tomorrow, and they're going to head back on Tuesday. So hopefully I'll be good on Tuesday. It's anybody's guess at this point, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I feel like I've done everything I need to do. Really the only prep that I was prescribed was steroid pills to do 2 pills in the morning, 2 pills in the evening, and I've done both of those. Now, if you follow my videos at all, you'll know that I was originally supposed to have the chemo start on Thursday, which meant I was to do my steroid prep on Wednesday. And I did that in the morning on Wednesday. It wasn't until the afternoon that the schedule was changed to today. So I had my 2 steroid pills in the morning. And then later in the day, and then as I was trying to go to sleep that night, I remembered the last time I had steroid pills for I think it was a sinus infection or something I had like 8 years ago. I was up for 3 days straight from steroid pills. So Wednesday, I took the 2 in the morning, and then by the evening, I did have coffee during the day too, so probably my own fault. But I was pretty wired at night. I was pretty wired, and I didn't really have a very good sleep, and that was just with 2 in the morning. That wasn't with 2 and 2. So on Friday, I did speak with the physician's assistant at the facility where I'm going to get the chemo, and I brought that up to her. She suggested that I try melatonin, which I have done melatonin in the past to help me sleep, but it didn't really seem to work on me. But I haven't tried it for probably 15-20 years, so I'm gonna give it a whirl tonight. She said start with 5 milligrams, maybe go to 10 if I need it. But we're gonna try some melatonin. Probably take that maybe like an hour. So hopefully I'll get some sleep tonight. But yeah, no, so I just wanted to talk about that for a second. Not much detail to go in there. Let's see. So one of the things I do need to do though is I want to take pictures of basically the incisions under my breast where the plastic surgery incisions were, where there's where it meets. It's like a T, because it's under the breast and then it's down from the nipple, so they connect in like a T. And mostly on the right side there is a little bit of a wound that's there, but it's healing. It's just taking its time healing. So what I want to do is take a picture of that before the chemo, and then we're going to take another picture of it after and make sure that there's no impact there. Also, I'm going to show that to show that when I get in tomorrow. I'm going to have them take a look at it and make sure that they think that that they see it's okay. When I went to the breast surgeon follow-up, was it this last Monday? It was this last Monday. I had her take a look, and she didn't think that there was anything wrong, that she felt I could still go forward with the chemo. Well, and now it's been a few more days, and it is definitely healing. It's moving along. It's just taking its sweet ass time. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But yeah, I think physically, I think I'm all set. I think I'm ready to go. Now, another thing. The other day, I did record a bit of an emotional video, and I did a song, if you watched that one. And I teased that I was going to go into a little bit more detail. I just needed to get the song out at the time. So, yeah, a lot happened within a couple of days last week, within basically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of last week. So, if you remember, I was waiting on getting one of the things that we really wanted to have before I started chemo was the bone scan. Having trouble getting that scheduled. But finally got that scheduled actually for Friday. Okay, so that's set for Friday. Chemo still set for Thursday. I spoke with the doctor Wednesday morning. I spoke with the physician's assistant at different times, and they said, as long as we know that we're getting the bone scan. We can still move forward with the chemo. We'll just do, as long as it's within a couple of days. So everybody seemed okay with that. But the bone scan was going to be, nope, that's not what I want to say. I was also in the process of adjusting the time slot for my chemo to accommodate for the cold cap. Now, the cold cap, by various accounts, will add between 2 and 4 hours to my entire day tomorrow. So the chemo itself is about 4 hours. The cold cap adds between 2 and another 4, depending on the setup and other things, transition in between. So they have to move the chemo up to be earlier in the day. They have to move the chemo up earlier in the day to allow for the cold cap to happen at the end of the day. So that was going to be 8 o'clock where it used to be 11:30. Wednesday during the day, I was making sure that I was getting a ride early in the morning. My friend Janine was going to drive me for the 11 o'clock. It worked perfectly for her. She had no problem bringing me there. When it gets to be 8 o'clock, it's a little bit more complicated. She has a lot of other stuff going on in her life. So we were back and forth, and I'm like, look, don't worry about it. I have other people. I can reach out. Eventually, she sends me a message. Please give me a call. As it turns out, my other brother, Dennis, was coming in from Indiana because he wanted to be with me for the very first day of treatment. He and his wife have been through various stages of chemo before. She has fought and survived through breast cancer 2 different times. He has dealt with other things, and so they know very well. She's also a nurse, so she's very familiar, but they know very, very, very well what it takes to go through chemo, especially for the first time, and what it's going to be like. And so he really wanted to be there for me. So he was trying to drive in to surprise me, to be there for me Thursday and be there with me for the day. But that was for me being there at 11 o'clock. So now we had to coordinate with him, I'm like, Janine, make sure he knows to be here earlier. So he's going to be here earlier. Okay, so we got that all worked out. He was going to arrive earlier than planned. Fine. That's all settled. Maybe like an hour or so after that's settled, I got a call from the doctor's office changing my chemo to tomorrow instead of Thursday because they really wanted to have that bone scan done before the chemo. I think that the way I can figure is it's a matter of how close it was, because it was literally just the day after I started chemo. I think if they couldn't do it until this week or, whatever it was, we probably would have just done the chemo on Thursday, but because it was so close, it does make more sense to start the chemo after the bone scan. So I call my brother. I'm like, how far are you from home? Luckily, he was on the road, but he was only about an hour away from home, so he was able to go back. And then we discussed it. We went back and forth, and he's like, he was very disappointed. He really wanted to be here for the first day, but he couldn't make tomorrow. He has other obligations in his life that he just couldn't work around. So I suggested a couple things. I said, maybe you come in for the second treatment. Maybe we'll do a FaceTime. Understanding it's not quite the same, but it's something. So, but just knowing that he wanted to come, and he was just here when I had my lumpectomy. So it meant a lot that he would just turn around and come back. It's not like a hop, skip, and a jump. That's a drive. So he wasn't able to come. Okay. In the middle of all of this, I'm getting a couple of messages from different friends, many people I haven't seen in years, who are following my videos, who have reached out and asked me if there was a way that they could contribute. Did I have Zelle or PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or a GoFundMe or anything like that? And I also, a couple weeks ago, another friend of mine reached out with the same question, and I've been really struggling with that. I've been really trying to wrap my head around that because it just feels so strange to me to put that out there. But I understand that many people want to help, and that's really the only way that a lot of people can, especially those that don't live nearby. If you're 10 states away, or you're in another country, or whatever it is, and you want to help, you want to participate, you want to be part of this journey. I want you to be part of my journey. And I recognize that might be the only way that some people can help. And to be quite frank, I could use it. So, after a lot of back and forth, Melissa and Janine convinced me to allow them to start a GoFundMe So they started a GoFundMe for me. And during while all this is happening, one of those people that had asked me before the GoFundMe was set up just wanted to send me something right away. So I got an incredibly generous gift from a very, very old dear friend of mine and his wife. And I'm not going to say their names, but they'll know who they are. And it's really going to go to good use. I'm going to use it this time to pay some of the initial hospital bills that I've gotten in, which at this point it's not a lot, but it's about $250 altogether so far. What my portion of what I owe is, it's going to go towards my utility bills at the moment, because I did miss a decent amount of work these past couple of weeks, and I'm going to wind up continue missing work. So then they set up the GoFundMe and they launch it on Friday. And within an hour maybe of it being launched, there's 3 donations in there. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed, and that's why I had to do the song on Friday, because it's really it's very difficult to take that all in and to accept basically that this is where I am in my life, but this is where I am in my life. And, I know that going forward, I really don't know what this is going to do to me. I don't know what the chemo is going to do to me. I don't know how much work I'm going to miss. I don't know, I don't know a lot of those things. And then I also, in the midst of all that last week, and on, I think it was Wednesday, I did post a video about it. I think it was Wednesday. I got a notice that my health insurance may possibly be canceled next year. There may be alternates. There may be ideas. There may be things that I can do. I am a veteran, so I do have that as a possibility. It is not ideal. There's one hospital here on Long Island, and it's not close to me. I don't even think they have an oncology department. So if I were to go that route, it would really be a very, very difficult route to go. I understand. I did learn from a friend that, because I'm not 100% familiar with the VA. I did use it when I first got out of the service, when I was first down here on Long Island, but I was in the reserves at the time too. Obviously, I didn't have cancer. You know what? I had tonsillitis I had to go for every once in a while. That was it. And that would have been 93, 92, 94, 95, 96, somewhere around then. Very, very different situation than what it is now. I really don't know what it looks like now. I know it's an option. It is not the best option. Worst case, definitely. But I need to be able to explore several other things before I get to that point. But even at that, it's still several months away before I even really have to dive into that, before I have to worry about it. But I will have to worry about it. I will have to worry about, being at that point, I'm going to be 6 months and almost 6 months into my treatment here, where I will be familiar with the facility. They're going to know me. I'm going to know the nurses, the doctors, the staff, all of the people. And if I have to change health insurance and I have to go someplace else, that's going to be a real, that will not be a nice time. But anyway, I didn't want to go all down all that, but I did. So I'm still trying to process the generosity from, as I've said it, the people that are immediately in my life, as well as the people that I literally have not seen since high school. It's a lot. And genuinely, thank you. Thank you. Because it will help. It will, anything to take off a little bit of the edge of the stress of, going through this, and then also having to deal with financial difficulties on top of it all. So I guess that's it. But I think I am ready for tomorrow. I'm ready to start it. I'm just waiting on my brother. Actually, as I was recording here, my brother was calling in, so I have to give him a call back. He's driving down during a nor'easter, by the way. It's not nice weather today, so But that's it. This is a very long one. I'm sorry, I did not mean for it to be 15 minutes. I will record again tomorrow, so I will see you then. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.